Hi, I'm Sean,
Hi, and I'm Shannon.
and we're the host of Wifey and Baby Mama. Happy Thursday, family. Happy Thursday, baby mama.
Happy Thursday, Sean.
We are thankful to be here with you guys another week, and we're going to get right to it because for the first time this season, we have a guest. Oh, yeah.
Yes, so happy, so happy.
I know y'all were thinking, like, wait, it's just gonna be the two aunties all seasons? No, not all season. No, no. We wouldn't do y'all like that. I mean, Shannon, I like to talk, but I don't think I could have did it a whole season. I don't think I had a
Right,
whole
right.
season in me. So thank God we have a guest. So
Mhm,
here to
mhm.
rescue you guys and kick it with us for episode 4 titled Benefit of the Doubt is the beautiful Miss Ashley Nicole. Ashley and I met on the set of my new miniseries, Shannon, Broken Love. So for anyone who's been to the premiere, and Shannon, you have down in Charlotte, she's the one with the
Yes.
banging body sitting up there cheesing with my man over lunch, talking about she his cousin, y'all. That's who this guest is tonight.
Yes.
I'm just
Welcome,
kidding.
Ashley. Welcome, Ashley.
Hello, hello, hey. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Y'all know if I don't do anything else, y'all, I'm gonna cut up on this show. You know, I like doing that. But serious business, Ash and I really did meet on the set of Broken Love, and now our little boys are on the same football team. Y'all, it's so
Yes.
cute. And getting to know Ashley, I'm like, you know what? She make a great guest for tonight's show. I'm sitting there like, hey, you want to be on the show? So, without further ado, Ashley, why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners? Tell them a little bit about you.
Yes, yes. Hey y'all, hey listeners. She forgot the Valerie in between. I got 600 names, but Ashley Valerie Nicole. It's already a billion Ashley Nicoles, and I got to be unique.
I know
but
that's right.
That's all.
But
Mhm.
yes, I did miss meet you on set of your series, which I am so blessed and happy to have taken part. Along with that, yes, I am a mom, football mom, so founder of Melanin Skin Co., which is a skincare line that is dedicated to serving the unique needs of melanin-rich skin. So when you get a chance, please check out my line at www.melaninskinco.com, and that's skin with a Y, and follow me on social media at Melanin Skin Co.
Okay, give
All
them the link one more
right.
time, Ashley.
That's www.melaninskinco with a Y instead of an I in skin.com.
All
Right.
right, Shannon,
Awesome.
we
Yes,
be meeting the dopest people. Okay, this
we do.
platform, services us in so many ways. Besides, us giving y'all the real. We meet some of the dopest guests, Shannon, and we are blessed. And Ashley, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so Shannon, you ready to get into this thing?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Ashley, we are excited to have you as a guest, but what else come with the guest title is you get the first question. We get to swing it to you and you get to set this thing off. So you ready, honey?
Oh Lord, I'm
All
ready.
right, here we go. Um, Ashley, do you think I'm getting right to it, y'all? We ain't even warming up. Do you think that partners that cheat should automatically be given the benefit of the doubt? That it will never happen again because it was a one-time thing? Or do you feel some work is required to mend that trust? What do you think?
Okay, wait. When you said partners that cheat, do you mean like cheat as in multiple instances already, or you mean a partner
Nope.
that has cheated?
No, I mean like you guys are in a great relationship.
Mhm.
Husband and wife. It just or maybe engaged or whatever. Maybe just committed relationship, and it just happened that one time.
Mm. Okay, so this is the one time that was found out about kind of situation. That's,
Shannon,
that's,
she gonna make him a serial cheater, ain't she? She said that was found out about.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to clarify if this is a cheating on or if this was she had done cheated. You know,
We may get
I
into all of it, but this first
Oh
question,
yeah,
I want to know.
yeah.
We're gonna, oh baby, we gets into it all. We flip some and rub it down, don't we, Shannon? We flip every topic.
We
We
do.
we try to
We
give you
do.
every angle, but right now, the very first question is: we were perfectly fine, and someone just cheated, and the other
Mhm.
partner found out, they told them however it happened, and they said, listen, just I made a mistake. Can you just forgive me? Do you think because it was a one-time thing, you're otherwise fine, should it be automatically forgiven? Or do you feel like some work is required to regain that trust?
So I think it dep- I don't think I can speak for all people, like
Your
for
opinion.
somebody. Okay.
Your opinion.
I think it depends on the situation. I think that it could depend on where you are in your relationship, what's at stake, the pros and the cons of walking away or staying. Um, I don't believe in mistakes when it comes to that. I
Right.
believe in them being conscious decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And but I do also believe that men are very in the moment, that they could feel and do something for that moment and stand on it in that moment, and in the next moment have a completely different feeling. But I believe that it's still a decision, and you can still make bad decisions, but first stand on that it was a decision and not a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you
Um,
think, Shannon?
Yeah. I agree. It is a decision, it's a choice. It's not nothing you fall into, you know.
Right.
You didn't trip and fall into it. It is
I
a
remember that one
conscious
comedian.
choice.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
tripped. I can't say what he said, but that's
I
what
know
you
you
sound
can't
like,
say what he
Shannon.
said.
But that's how you sound. Okay, so that part
Right.
you guys agreed. Now, Ashley, do you think then, if it's just a one-time decision and they're sincere, do you think just say it happened to you? Do you think you can be like, okay, let's move on, or do you think it would take time to be like, I need to regain your trust? Like, I'm not feeling you right
it's
now.
definite, it's definitely not a just, oh, okay, well, it's cool, move move on, move forward. But it's for one, I really don't think you ever fully regain that trust fully. And
Hmm.
even if you do, it's a conscious effort, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
conscious, like, it's also a decision to try to look past some things. And I think that even if you do kind of get more comfortable with it, you kind of, when some stuff start looking different or start looking familiar, you
Mm-hmm.
always got that thought in the back of your mind, but you have to make a decision
Mm.
at that point, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
decide, okay, am I going to continue to let this be what it is, or am I going
Move past it.
flip the script or flip the
Mm-hmm.
script,
Right. Right.
but I just don't believe that the trust is ever fully gained. It's kind of always there, because then when you see them habits, you like, oh, well, wait a minute, especially when, because they real habitual men, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like
Yes, they
when they
are.
start doing something the same way, and then it's like, okay, now you went down that same, every day you come home, you go down the same street, and now you done made a left down Bailey. Quit playing,
Uh-huh.
stop playing. and,
Well,
and it's like, well, I couldn't go down Bailey to go to Tim Hortons real quick. No, no, no.
Right. Right.
so
That is so
now
true.
I myself, I think that trust comes naturally from that person taking care of your heart and respecting you and loving you, and once they mess up, you have to earn it back. And if that person doesn't feel like they should, or want to debate the fact that, oh, I apologize, that's enough, then in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, they haven't taken accountability. And quite frankly, I believe
Right.
they'll do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
When they put a timetable on when you should be over it, you should be over it because I apologize. Yeah.
They ain't
They're
taking
not taking account.
accountability. And
Mm-mm.
I believe with those type of people it happen again. What do you think, Ashley?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm pretty in alignment with that. I haven't come across too many men folk that take too much accountability for anything, whether it's small or big.
Right. She said men
So,
Lord.
folk. Ashley about 60 years old, but y'all, she really, like, I don't think she 40. She said men folk. So now with everything that we said, like you said, some men folk, as Ashley say, they don't take
Uh-huh.
accountability. But we're not just talking about men now. Y'all know it's some women out here that be
Oh
getting it in too
yeah.
now.
Oh
So
yeah.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think whether the men or the women cheat. I think that, like she said, it should be discussed. Are we going to get past this? Are we going to work on it? Are we moving on? But if we decide to
Mm-hmm.
work on it, the one thing we have to be careful is not to make it a life sentence, y'all. If it was a one-time incident, I don't think we should, do the life sentence. We're human. And sometimes No matter how much you love someone, you can make a bad choice because, like Ashley said, it's not a mistake,
Mhm.
it's a choice. And if we can all be
Yeah.
grown, though, that Babyface song, Shannon, "Love Makes Things Happen," it's a real thing.
Right.
Now, that ain't our song
Yeah.
for tonight. I'm just saying. Don't cut my head
Yeah,
off.
you're
Just,
right. You're right.
it's a real thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
if you
just feel like
choose
it
to
has to be a
stay,
mutual. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, Ashley.
I just think it's a mutual reciprocation that it has to be. It
Mm,
has to be a combination of the person who committed it has to give grace to the person that's healing, as well as the person that's healing has to give that
mm-hmm.
grace if they've decided to move forward. And that's where
Agreed.
I think things get jumbled, is because a lot of time the person that committed it don't want to live in it and don't want to sit in it. So sometimes it could be that they may not necessarily do it again, but it's just that they're so shameful from it that they just want to move forward because they don't want to sit in it. But it's like, you don't get to
Mm-hmm.
choose how long it took me to heal.
That's right.
That's a
That's
very
right.
good point because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I believe about people, Shannon, who really make that one bad decision one time. I can believe, like
Right.
Ashley said, men are just so, and some women too, but men
Oh
more
yeah.
profoundly. Women are usually cheaters of emotion. Men are usually cheaters of attraction. They see a big butt,
Mm-hmm.
they see,
Yep. Yep.
what LL said, big butt and a smile, and they're like, oh, with us, it sometimes majority of the time, most of us have to have some kind of other attraction. So it's
Right.
easy. But some women are,
Yeah.
they worldly. Use that for lack of a better word because
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
family show. But some women are no different from men. But for the most part, when they do that, it's like, okay, I did that. I messed up. They know they messed up. They will never do it again. They are very sorry. But the fact is, it
Right.
happened. It happened, and you have to give me my time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I know it happens
Yep.
to the best of us though, Shannon. So you know,
Oh yeah, and we all know those folks. And for those who choose to stay, you know, I have a close family member. I won't call their name. They chose to stay, but yet they continue to punish the person forever. Like you said, a minute ago, Sean, can't be
made
a
a
life
life sentence.
sentence.
Can't be.
Well, that's what it is in this situation. It's a life sentence. It's never gone. Or on the other side, with my husband, where his previous marriage, his spouse cheated, and so he wants to make everyone pay for what she did. And so I had to pay for something somebody else did, and I've never cheated on anybody in my life, even when I only dated you for 2 weeks. you know.
Right.
So is trying to understand how you need to heal as well, um, and not, take that out on other people, as well as, um, like we've been saying, the accountability, but on both sides. Both sides need healing and grace and some type of way to move forward, even if it's not in your current relationship, in your next relationship, um, if you move on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel that if you have decided to move on from that person, then you need to take the appropriate time to heal so you're not carrying that baggage into your next
Yeah.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do choose to stay with that person that caused the damage, one, you still have to do the work to heal. But I do fully believe that that person has to equally participate in your healing. And sometimes that
Right.
means being more transparent. That means being
Mhm.
more reassuring. Like, things just don't look the same how they used to look because you're building that
Uh-huh.
trust back. So it's like where you used to say, "Oh, I'll be back real quick." Okay, what's the lineup? What do be right back
Yep.
real quick mean?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
you went back real quick, and I trusted that at that point in time, and now I don't really trust it. And
Mhm.
then then to be able to reassure me, like, everything is good, but instead of, "Oh, you on my back, and why you keep asking, da, 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 I ain't doing nothing, I ain't doing nothing," and it's
But
like you don't get those same luxuries.
But at,
Right.
at that point, I'm gonna say what I would think a partner, man or woman, should say in that situation. Because Shannon, I think we've discussed on here. My husband, he rides motorcycles. He's addicted to them. And sometimes he's like, I'm riding, Shauna, I get on and I don't realize it's been 5, 6 hours. I may ride for 2 hours before I pull over to answer my phone, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now, say you cheat and something happens. Now, you think you're gonna still get that luxury? Will not, because it's going to
Exactly.
trigger me every time. You're going to have
Uh-huh.
to give me time
Yeah.
to build that
Yeah.
back up, you know. But once I started to
Mhm.
go out with him in the motorcycle road, when I hung, I'm like, oh, you really can be out this joint all night, you know. But in that
Mhm.
case, he started to say, Ashley, when you said, I'll be back real quick. I brought up that reference to say, he started to say, well, won't you come with me and see what I'm doing? You know, I'm not doing
Yes.
anything. He
Mhm.
said, I said, I'm scared
Mhm.
Mhm.
of that bike. He said, well, get in your car and follow me. So we literally did
Mhm.
that for a while, and I was like, all right, I'm tired. I don't want to be chasing no motorcycle around all night. All right, I'm good on that. So, but he let me see, because I'm like, you mean to tell me you rode for 2 hours and ain't checked your? He's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, because I get
Uh-huh.
time gets away from me, you know, da da da.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
saw, and once I had enough of it, and I saw it, I'm like, okay, I'm good on that. But that's what
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
had to do to ease my mind, Ashley. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Hey,
And
come,
that's him
come, go.
being an active participant in your
Absolutely.
healing. Like
And
you
let me
can't
tell you
do it by
Mhm.
something.
yourself.
He didn't cheat on me during this course than the second time around, but it was a whole
Mhm.
buffet the first time. So that's
Mhm.
why I had those feelings that I had. But
Mhm.
he had to
Mhm.
explain to me, you can't hold me right there. I don't live there anymore. I'm not that guy anymore. But instead of him
Yeah, but
Mhm.
just
you
saying,
also he also had to show you that too.
But instead
Right.
of him just saying,
Right.
believe what you want to believe, because that's what he was doing
Mhm.
at first, like you said. And I said, I tell you
Mhm.
what you gonna believe is that you're gonna be here by yourself when you get home. So when he saw, so let me say this. I was pondering, and this is the other side of that topic. You know, I thought, is it ever really a reason to cheat? Right now, good Christian wife who loves the dirt off of her husband's shoes had to ask myself, could it ever be a reason, a legit reason to step out? And off the top of my head, I was like, heck no, it ain't no excuse for that. I ain't going for that. And then I thought
Right.
back a little harder, y'all, to when those situations were occurring, right? With the motorcycle, him staying out. When my husband would, come out 6, 7 in the morning, I'm like, this nigga is tripping. I and I allowed women, like women would call his phone. He works on cars. Oh, my mirror broke. Oh, do you know it's too much air in my front mirror? Like stupid stuff. I'm like, are you kidding
Mm.
me? They are testing you. They're seeing, can they access you? That he said, I ain't thinking about that. I ain't thinking about that. I said, you know what? He wasn't hearing my concerns. So you know what I started doing? I started staying out late, going out with my friends, accepting drink from men. And at one point, I mean, my husband listens to these podcasts. We've had this conversation in therapy. I was like, you know what? I'm about to be gone. I'm about to go do what I gotta do, because he playing with me. Whole time the man wasn't
Wow.
doing absolutely nothing. But I was not
Mhm.
feeling value, and I wanted him to see me. But by grace, y'all, I stepped back and I said, now, doing this is gonna hurt who? You know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
sure ain't gonna be a fool and go tell him that I did it. You know who was gonna affect the most? It was gonna affect me. You know, I would have been in
Mhm.
a lifelong battle with my conscience, even if he didn't know. So for me, the decision not to cheat wasn't about him. It was about me.
Mhm.
So sometimes we don't even need to, I can't even say not worry about the other person, but sometimes if you think about your own value, that should stop you from doing
Mhm.
that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because it's going to change
Yeah.
your value as a person as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's just my
Right.
thought. I didn't want to change my
Mhm.
value. And come to find out after
Mhm.
therapy and just simply talking it out, y'all, I was dead wrong anyway. You see what I'm saying? And that would have been something detrimental that I couldn't have taken back.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
sometimes people, before we cheat, we need to understand, why is it that if it's just a physical thing, you got to be stronger than that. Because, you
Yeah.
ain't
Mhm.
ready to be with me anyways. But sometimes, y'all, I'm going to tell you, it's not just a physical thing. I was strong willed and I almost slipped. And I can say it because, again, I've been to counseling for it. But if you are not grounded and rooted, you don't need to be out in the streets being out late. You don't need to be hanging with your boys or hanging with your
Right.
single girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying lock
Mhm.
yourself up in a box or in the corner, but if you're really with
Mhm.
someone you love, you do whatever you have to do to protect their heart. That's
That's
all I'm
right.
saying.
Absolutely.
Now,
Well,
anybody else got anything else? Shannon, you got another way you want to flip this thing?
Mm. No, I don't think so.
What about you, Miss
No.
Ashley?
I
You can talk about any point of the topic. You don't have to stick right there. That was just my question to you. Now, this is your chance, Ashley, to
Uh-huh.
get it off your chest now. Wife and baby mama puts the platform out there. Y'all do what y'all do with it.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, along the same subject, because I know you just had said that it's a for well earlier in the conversation you had said for men it's a physical thing and for women it's an emotional thing, but and that's true. But
To some
I
point. Now, that's
also
not all in the box. Shannon and I like to say that on
it's
this show.
not.
Everything
I
isn't in
think
the
Mhm.
box.
traditionally, should I say
Mhm.
traditionally,
Yeah,
like when you look at
traditionally.
Right.
Yeah,
a
Right.
like most cases, the woman is cheating for some kind of emotional
that's a
thing that
fact.
they're missing,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mhm.
some connection that they're trying to get, or like emotionally because they've been damaged from being cheated on, kind of thing. And
Yep,
men can be so straightforward that it's like wham bam thank you ma'am, it's no emotion tied to it.
Mhm.
that's
So
right.
that's
Mhm.
why they feel so much more damaged when they find out that a woman has cheated, because they feel like, well, you actually was invested. You was vested
Yeah.
with this dude and you had
Yeah.
feelings.
Mhm.
And I don't even know this lady's name, but
Mm.
I guess for me, it's still like going back to what you said about caring about somebody's feelings and care about those things. It's like, well, regardless, even though it doesn't hold the same weight for a man, it's kind of like, how it feels on the other foot. So why would you cause something on somebody that you don't want done unto you?
That's a
Mm.
full fact.
Period.
And I want to say something to that point, which is a very good point, Ashley. And that point is this: men cheat physically, like you said. Wham bam, thank you, man. I don't know that lady name, and they might do
Mhm.
that with 10 women. But a woman can cheat with one man, and they want to go stand in the middle of the street, baby, and jump off the bridge.
With the boom
I
box.
she said with the boom. So my thing is, you
Mm.
know why they do that? Because they know who you are. You know that if
Mhm.
my girl or my wife slept with another man, it's something there. She's not just a street girl.
Mhm.
She's not here just
Mhm.
laying down. So the
Mhm.
same pain that would bring you, the same pain that would bring you, you should consider that pain, just like you said, Ashley, when you're about to cheat on that woman. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And if we all keep
Mhm.
it 100, if we all keep it clean and all stay faithful, nobody ever had to ride this train. But men often
Right.
do not think about the long term
Right.
emotional damage that they cause.
Or
And let me,
even to give you that option. I'm so big on choices.
that's
Like,
it.
Mm.
give me a choice of
Tell me
what
you don't
Mhm.
I'm
want to be
going
with me
through.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, or if
Mhm.
it's just like, hey, look, I'm going through some things and mentally I got to figure
Mhm.
some stuff out and I got to do that. But they get in this thing where they trying to do both. It's like they trying to hold on to you because they want you to
Mm-hmm.
be there, but then they trying to, you know, what is it? Soil your oats, royal. What is it about the
So
oats?
yes. So.
Soy your raw oats.
Yeah, roll up the oats or something. I don't know, but but they
But
trying to do both
Yeah.
instead of just,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
somebody might be with it. Somebody might say, all
Mhm.
right, well, let's go ahead and just take this break and kind of see if life
that's
brings
it.
us back. But no, they don't accept that because they, like, again, going back to what you said, they know what they got. So it's like they don't
Right.
want you out here because they don't want the potential for you to possibly get
Find
caught
what
on to
you
somebody that
deserve.
look exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you
And
deserve.
when
I'm
you
gonna hit you.
think about it, yeah. And when you think
Go ahead.
about, especially our men, our black men, that we all know of someone, I'm sure, that has been a habitual cheater that cheats or whatever, they typically, probably 9 times out of 10, do not leave their wives. They will not leave their wife for nothing. They'll just keep
Absolutely not.
cheating as long as she keeps them, as long as she holds
Long as
on
she
to them.
keeps letting them.
But a woman, when her heart is gone, whatever, when she cheats, usually it's with her heart. And the ones in my family that have gotten divorced after they've met someone else is because, something got them emotionally or their heart or whatever. But the man won't walk away as quickly as a woman will walk away when she cheats and falls for someone else. And so it goes back to, hey, a man isn't really, in it when he's cheating. He's not in it with the other woman. He's just doing something. And I wish we could really understand it. And if we had a male on here, maybe we could get a little bit more insight into that. But they won't
Honey, a
leave their
male wouldn't touch
wives.
this topic, honey. I call they oh no. So listen,
They said
because they
no.
don't. They be like Steve Harvey, think like a man. They don't want to give away the bro code. But really,
Right,
truly,
right.
they need to do more of that because that's how they can help each other heal, like women do. Shannon and I are
Mm-hmm.
wifey and baby mama, literally,
Mm-hmm.
because we help
Mm-hmm.
each other heal, and we took that power to
Right.
help other women heal. It can be done, but they just too macho. But Ashley, I'm going to tell you, Shannon, we have not had a down south saying this. It took 4 episodes, and Ashley done got it out of me. Let me tell you what's going on, Ashley, in my grandmama voice. They don't want you, and they don't want nobody else to have you. That's the
And
down
that's the
south
truth.
saying.
And that's the truth.
So it
And you
took Ashley to
know,
come get a saying out of me.
yes. And but even going back to what was just said about the man the man cheating versus the woman cheating, because I feel like, okay, women for the most part, and not all women, of course, but for the most part, when you in it, it's like you trying to see it through because you didn't seen
Mhm.
something in them and you thinking it's
Yep.
a phase and you like
Mm-hmm.
writing it out and okay, I'm gonna love him through this. But a man, Lord, that I ain't never ever seen a stronger black woman than a black man. Cause a, a black man is gonna be a strong black woman so fast. You cheat on him, he know his value, he know his worth.
Oh
He
yeah.
he look, he done left, packed up all that before you
That
even got
tickled
home.
me. Girl, you done tickled me, Lord Joy. I don't think I had a good laugh like that. Say nobody
It's the
stronger black
truth.
woman than a black. She ain't lying, Shannon. That
That's
actually
true.
that is
That's true.
hilarious. Actually, that is so
Mm-hmm.
true. But let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
something. Men are different creatures from us in the aspect of, yeah, they can't dish out what they're taking most times. But let me tell you this. They know what they got. Like Shannon said. So when you do that, they feel like you're soiled, you're damaged, and I'm gonna tell you something. Why the reason they're packed up and gone when you get home is because they know that if you took the time to lay down with somebody else, it wasn't a one-time thing. You have researched it, you thought
Right.
about it, you done spent
Yeah.
time, and you are emotionally attached. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be gone in a little while. So they trying to beat you to the punch because
Mm-hmm.
women are not
That's a fact.
as physical as men.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as physical as
Mm-hmm.
men. So if we don't, like I said, I was pondering going out doing things. It's because I was building up myself to leave him. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And men
Mm-hmm.
know that. And once I lay down with
Mm-hmm.
somebody else, consider yourself left because I don't do
It's
back.
sealed the deal.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
ping pong with my body. So
Right.
men know that. When you have a good woman,
Mm-hmm.
you know the value of that woman. And if I make it to
Mm-hmm.
go sleep with somebody else, you go ahead and pack your stuff up and leave. So I
That's
Right.
wouldn't
right.
be the kind. That's why I reconsidered cheating or trying to do tit for tat. I'm not the kind that's gonna cheat on you and then we can work it out. Now you see how I feel. No, you're gonna be done. So
Right.
that's why I
Mm-hmm.
made a decision to not do that and try to work it out. And thank God it worked out. But yeah, that's who men are. They need to get together. But can y'all know? Can I tell you what y'all both know? But can I tell you, audience who don't know or just maybe new to us this season? I'm married to the exact same man who cheated the first time around 1,000 times. I'm the same girl. I wasn't a cheater then. I'm not a cheater now. You know what happened this
That's all
time?
right.
He grew up and became a man, and I became a woman that didn't allow it. I allowed it
Good.
the first time,
Yeah.
and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
The second time around, that
Mm-hmm.
girl, I told him that little child is dead and gone. This is a grown woman you dealing with. And guess what? He bought his grown
Mm-hmm.
man, and we ain't had that type of issues. So they really kind of only gonna do what you let them, Ashley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact. And then it's also to where you got to be able to at some point stand on it too. You
That's a
know
fact.
how you stood on it, and to be
I
like,
stood
look,
on it. And
and
guess
whatever
what?
outcome it be is an outcome
That's
it
what it's
be.
gonna
Sometimes
be.
they spin the block, and
That's
sometimes
right.
You got
it
that.
ain't
You know
gonna
what I
happen.
told him? You got that. I cannot stop you from doing what you want to do. I told him he go cheat with everybody in Buffalo, Charlotte, and Syracuse, and you can go fly over to Africa and get you a few. But you can't be with me. And that's all I
Mhm.
did. That's the only thing I did this time around. And that's God's honest truth.
Mhm.
You just can't be with
That's
me.
all
Mhm.
right.
All right. So, you got anything else,
I
Ashley?
did want to ask something though, because
Okay.
we did talk about the cheating, but I did want to know what's y'all deal breakers, because I do feel
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes you set these bound when you like when you got young love and
Mm-hmm.
you really don't know what it looked like to really have a real relationship. You set all these boundaries, right? And you set all these things that you're gonna do, but then when you really start getting in a relationship, it's things you start accepting or start taking. But then it does get
Mhm.
to a point where it's like, all right, hands down, that happened. I'm not dealing with it. That's a deal breaker. And
Mhm.
did any of your boundaries change, or it was a certain stuff that it's like, I used to feel that way, and now I don't feel so tight
Mhm.
about that, but I feel more
Mhm.
strong about this kind of thing.
You want to take it,
Yeah.
Shannon?
Yeah, so for me, yeah, if it is, I mean, in a marriage, and I'm only going to speak from a married woman's standpoint, um if my husband were to, habitually cheat, or if I was constantly catching him and stuff, that would be something. If it's a rumor type thing, I would have to hunt it down. I know me. If I heard something, if I suspected something, I would go after the truth. And if I found the truth, I don't know. Um, it, it, I'd have to deal with it at that point to say, okay, where do I go from here? How do I move? I don't have a ready answer. Like a lot of people say, no, I'd be out of there. Oh, no, I'd be done. Once you're married and you say the vows, is it's a situational thing. When you're in it, what do you do? And like I said, I'd have to have some proof. I'd have to have pictures. I'd have to hire a private eye. I mean, it could not be, oh, he said or she said, someone came and I saw or whatever. No, show me the absolute proof. And then I will take it and go from there. And more than likely, I would have to say, you know, I would probably be out. Knowing me, because I got married so much later in life, I don't have, kids with my husband. I don't have those type of how people stay together for the kids. And I
Mm-hmm.
get that. I understand, as long as you're healthy in the household, you do want your kids to grow up with their, mother and father in the same house. In a healthy
Environment.
appearance of health, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
environment. But if my husband were to do something today and I had that, in front of me, this is what he did, I'm thinking I'd be out, but like I said, I don't have a ready answer for that, because I'd have to go with what I feel. But deal breaker would definitely be if I've caught you time and time again doing this and doing that. Yeah, probably after one or two times of the proof, no doubt about it. It wouldn't be situational at that point. I'm out.
Well, for me, Ashley, real quick, I'll take it and we'll wrap up. I think Shannon spoke from a married point of view, and so I am a married woman at this time. I've also been with my husband when I wasn't married to him. And I'm going to tell you that the only person that can really answer that deal breaker question is the person in the relationship, and I'll tell you why. Your boundary, your last call may not be mine. Your final, that
Mhm.
your final straw may not be my final straw. I can only say this in the situation of a non-married couple. You know what you're worth, and so does that man. My husband knew what I was worth. Jimmy thought he was about to play around with me for a whole lot of years when I came back. I said, hey, I want to get remarried. He said, yeah, we can. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year goes by. Finally, I said to him, okay, I tell you what, I don't think you're ready to be married, and that's totally fine. So I need you to get your crap, get on out, and I'm gonna go about my life. And that's what we did for about 4 months. On that fifth month, that Negro was knocking with a ring because he said, "All right, I'm ready." I said, "No, no, don't marry me for me. Marry me for you." He said, "Yeah, I wanted to make sure it was all gone out of my system. It's gone now." And thank God
Mhm.
we haven't had any incidents. So I think they'll drag you, Shannon, as long as you let them. I think they'll
Mhm.
run from it. And not dragging you in a sense of cheating. I think they'll run from it because that's a big commitment. That's a big commitment. And they will run
Right.
from it as long as they can. But I'm gonna say if they're not out here in the streets running around, if it's just little minute things, I would say get counseling. See if it's something that you can be fixed, that can be fixed and you can tolerate. But the bottom line is if you're tired of this certain thing and they continue to do that certain thing, whether it's cheating or not, I say you move on and be happy. I don't condone anybody giving up their peace for another person that's not committed to them. I just don't believe in that.
Mhm.
Keep your
Right.
Hmm.
peace at all costs. You're responsible for your own peace. That's what I learned. And I
Oh
was
Yep.
yeah,
willing to
I
let
like
Jimmy
that.
go. Yeah, I was willing to let Jimmy go for my own peace. But thank God, he saw otherwise, and here we are. But yeah, I was willing to let him go for
Hmm.
my own peace. That has to be important to us ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love that.
Absolutely.
So that's our answer. I hope it helps. I know neither one of them was
Well, I was
exactly
just,
right.
I wasn't, I just was curious because, I personally just, being in long relationships and things, and then being in relationships young, sometimes things be looking a certain way, and then once you hit it, you handle it differently,
Yeah,
you know.
and you get complacent too when you've been with someone
Yeah,
so long.
and even when you're talking about the marriage and stuff like that too, I come to learn like children is a bigger commitment than marriage. And
Sure enough.
Miss Shannon was
Sure
even
enough.
talking about how she doesn't have children with her husband, and I just feel like that's the almost more important, that commitment, because especially when a man is running from marriage and y'all got children together, it's like we locked in for life if we get married or not. If we didn't
That's
have
right.
Right.
children,
That's
if we
right.
didn't have children and I was married to you, I could walk away with mine and you walk away with yours, and I ain't never got to see you in my life.
Right.
But I'm
That's true.
committed to you once I have this child with you, whether we together or
Yeah.
not. I gotta see you for the
Yeah.
next probably at least 20,
Eh,
26 years.
No, life. 37
Life.
years.
And we know that, Shannon. We just had a situation with our kid. Yeah, for life.
Yeah.
You gotta see
Yeah.
each other for life. So
Mm-hmm.
in the end, people, it's your decision. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
anything else. It's situational. What are you willing to put up with? What are you
Mm-hmm.
willing to do? Because it's successful, good co-parenting situations too. Because my third
Yeah.
daughter is not my husband, and she and I and her father, my husband, are friends for life. So it's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Successful situation, parenting situations that I don't have to be having you roll over looking in my face every night playing with me. So
That's
it's
right.
up to you.
That's
It's
right.
up to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all right, lady, we are past our time here. It has been a
Oh,
beautiful conversation, and I can go another
yes,
half
it
hour, but
has.
that's not what our show allows. So if you ladies are all done, I'll wrap it up.
Yes, man.
All right.
All right, so we'll wrap up with this. If you do not want to do the crime, people, don't do the crime. If you don't
That's
want to be
right.
drilled, if you don't want to be held accountable, don't go out here doing crazy stuff. Now that's
Mm-hmm.
just a
Right.
cliche. That's just a cliche. The real important point here is, I think Ashley even said it, and I'm going to read what I picked up on that I need to leave you with tonight is, don't do to people what you don't want done to you. And you can avoid
Mm-hmm.
a lot of heartache and drama. Be good to yourself
Mm-hmm.
by being an honorable partner, and you can you can take care of each other the rest of your life. Just don't do to anybody else what you don't want done to you, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the bottom line. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's move.
All right. On to the sound off.
All right, we've come to the sound off segment of our show, and this is where we announce a song related to the topic of tonight, while also hoping to add to your musical playlist and your genres. Okay, so this one is of a different class tonight. This is a country song. This is from Kaylee Rose. That's no, I'm sorry, Kaylee Rose. Kaylee Rose, Cheating. It's a good song. I suggest you guys go
Ah,
listen to it. It's a different template and palette for your listening ears. Kaylee
mm,
Rose, Cheating. As soon as we log off, I need y'all to go hit it. Take a listen. All right, audience, that's your assignment for tonight. All right, baby mama. Where can they
all
where can they
right.
send their musical selections to?
Yes, if you have a song you would like us to take into consideration, or if you have questions or feedback, please email us at wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. Once again, it's wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. All right, we want to thank you, Ashley, once again for joining us. We've enjoyed this topic, and the conversation tonight has been interesting, and hopefully it impacts someone. So that is
Absolutely.
our show for tonight.
We love you
Thank you,
all.
ladies, for having me.
You are so welcome, sweetheart. We hope to come back again. You gave me a good laugh. I'm usually the comedic one, so I enjoyed being able to laugh tonight.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we love you all. Goodbye.
I'm wavy.